Rain gauges are weather instruments used to measure precipitation. These play an important role for meteorologists during severe weather events, and the measurements can be used as rain data to issue more accurate reports. This experiment includes the plastic cylinder, which is a transparent plastic, makes the stored water easy to read and compare amongst the measuring device. And then the ruler, which is the main measurement of the rainfall stored in. And then there's an initial water level, which is leveled at the 0 point of the ruler since the bottom of the plastic cylinder was not flat. Then proper placement of the rain gauge. Place the rain gauge twice the distance away from the height of the nearest obstruction. For example, placing a gauge 20 feet away from a 10-foot tree. Then place the gauge at least 2 to 5 feet off the ground. Then make sure the top of the rain gauge is leveled. Keep the gauge away from sources of initial precipitation that can affect the readings, such as sprinklers. Infiltration is the downward movement of water through the land surface. There are different factors that affects infiltration. First is the precipitation level, which states that high intensity, duration, and amount of precipitation will lead to greater infiltration. And then vegetative cover, then the slope of the land, and then the soil saturation, evapotranspiration level, and then human activities, which states that due to road construction, the land or the soil is highly compacted, which reduces the porosity and permeability. And then there's the soil characteristics, which states that water infiltrates faster into large pore spaces of coarse subsoils. Experiment was conducted using plastic materials and then water and the soil materials. So the same amount of water was poured to the three samples at the same time, and it was proven that water infiltrates faster on coarse material than the fine sand and more slow at the clay. On evaporation experiment, fill two identical jars with water, leaving one of the jars uncovered. Cover the other one with a transparent plastic cover. Then make the cover as secure as possible. Then take the jars outside and place them both in an equally sunny spot. Then place a ruler on the jar, noting the current water level. So the current water level was 40 centimeters for both jars. Then as the sun hits the water, we will observe that the water on the uncovered jar disappears more, while the water on the covered jar evaporates at much slower rate because the evaporation process gets blocked by the plastic cover. And it was noted that on as a result, the uncovered jar only has 32 centimeters of water left, and the covered jar has 39 centimeters of water left. Water that evaporated is visible at the plastic cover.